Welcome to
Call Her Shadow Daddy,
a place where we chat about our
usually
spicy reads. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mo. And today we're discussing One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig.
Yes,
we're going to start with a little overview of the book
Mm-hmm.
And actually turn to the book itself to see what it says.
Yes.
And here we go. Elspeth, which we'll get back to
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient spirit trapped in her head. He protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic.
I know that's right.
Time and time again, we heard that. We heard that.
We do
Nick.
be hearing that a lot in here, Mo.
So, Nick, I'd love your kind of TLDR, what happened in One Dark Window. That gives us a peek into Elspeth and her monster and the magic. But yeah, what happens in this book?
What goes down?
Yeah,
what goes down?
Tell us.
What a great question, Mo. Thank you for asking. So, well, first of all, Elspeth Pitt. I don't know. It's spelled with a P, but they sometimes call her Beth with a B, as in Bumblebee. So. We'll just Elspeth Spindle, Miss Spindle, her main character. Okay, Spindy girl, Okay. Anyways, she has magic. Okay, she's our main character. Mm-hmm. She is, I think, like 20. She has magic, but she hasn't told anybody. And the magic only happens when the nightmare, the freaky guy in her head, basically like lives in her head, talks to her, and when she needs help, he like has magic course through her. Okay, so like she's not really magical, but he is, and he lives in her head. And he started living in her head when she was 11, and she touched a Providence card. So these are like tarot cards, kind of, and they're like, there's 12 or something of them. They all have different freaky things on them. Yeah. And they all grant the user of the card some type of magical power.
You just tap it 3 times.
You tap it 3 times, and then you tap it 3 times to turn it off. I don't know. There's some cute little tapping going on. But she touched it after she was infected with this fever. So there's this weird fever thing that happens. It's going around, and they don't have a vaccine. Okay, it's going around, and if you get infected, you're supposed to be executed. Okay, but Elspeth got sent to live with like some family members who cared for her, and they thought that she got through the fever without getting any weird magic stuff. Yeah, but then turns out she touches this card. Basically, the nightmare is absorbed into her brain and like lives there with her. Yes. And it's like she has like dissociative identity disorder. Like that's what it sounds like. That's what's happening. Yep. Okay. So that's what's happening. And eventually she goes to Equinox, which is like this ball basically. Yeah. And like I don't know if is she like royal or something?
Well,
why is she at that?
I think because the other element of this is that her dad used to be the head of like the Destryers, which are the people who hunt down infected kids. Yeah. And so he should have like turned her in, but he didn't. He's like, go live with your auntie and uncle. And so because he used to be kind of in like the royal guard, if you will, he still gets invited to these kingdom parties. Okay,
that makes sense. Because I was like, why are they there?
Yep.
But usually she doesn't go because she has an evil stepmother, of course.
Classic.
And some like half siblings, and she doesn't really hang with them. Yeah. And the evil stepmother's like, Elspeth, don't go. We hate you. And then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. And what happens when she goes?
Yes. Well, what happens when she goes to the Equinox? Well, great question, Mo. So she doesn't want to go, but of course, she's like classic, like female main character, like, I want to be hidden. I don't want to go and be pretty, but I actually am. Actually, I will say one thing I liked about this was they never said like that she was tiny or like so differently. Yeah, any of those things. So I was like, okay, I'm with that, Elspeth. Yeah. I love that for you. So she gets seated next to Emery Yu, who is the brother of our male main character, Raven with a Y.
Raven with a Y.
Interesting. And he is like drunk as hell, and then she like follows him out of there, and then he reads her ass like a book, and he's like, you have a weird freak in your mind, you have darkness behind your eyes. And she's like, what the fuck? Because she's like never told anybody that she has this weird shit. And she's like, nah, that dude's just crazy. I don't know. They say he's a whack.
I don't know.
So all in all, I don't remember, how does she end up hanging out with Raven? He like kind of stalks her.
I think Raven ends up saving her from Emery.
Yes.
And then Raven is like, basically puts 2 and 2 together that he had come across her in the night. And basically, long story short, he's like, hey, me and my little gang of cousins or whatever,
the squad.
The squad's trying to get these 12 Providence cards together so that we can get the mist out of Blunder, and the mist is essentially like
okay, I have a question for you about the mist.
The bad magic. Wait, hold on. So he's like, and he figures out that she can see Providence cards on people. That's like one of her abilities with the monster. So he's like, hey, come help us find all the Providence cards before the king does, because we're basically the good guys. Yeah. And she's like, okay, we'll pretend to be courting each other.
Yeah, we had the pretend relationship.
Yeah, we had to like check. And so then the rest of it is them working together to try and find these Providence cards, while at the same time she's fighting this monster in her head. Right. Okay, what was your question?
Thank you. Yes. Yes. My question about the mist. Okay. Yes. Every time they talk about magic or the mist, they say that it smells like salt.
Yes.
And I've been asking around, does salt have a smell?
And what is?
I'm getting no, but like salt water has a smell, kind of like the ocean has a smell, but salt. Yeah. I got a margarita the other night with like salt on the rim, and I literally like sniffed
just to test it,
because I was like, am I crazy?
Yeah.
And so I put my little finger on it, and I went, and then I turned to my partner and I said, smell this, and I was like, does this have a smell to you? And he's like, no. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. So I wanted to ask you, Mo, does salt have a smell?
I don't think so. And so, yeah, I'm not really sure. It's got a taste.
It's certainly got a taste.
And, you know, there is the whole, like, mouth-nose connection thing. But I thought the smell of the salt, and then I think she describes the monster's voice, or someone's voice is dripping with oil, which is, like, a few times.
Yes,
I saw some of the reviewers mention that, and it's like, what is that?
Yeah, what does that mean?
So if you have thoughts on A, the smell of salt, and B, the
is that like one of those things, you know, like how some people can smell ants?
What?
Yes, there are people out there that say ants have a very distinctive smell. They can smell ants. I clearly neither of us are people that can smell ants.
Yeah, if you can smell ants, people, also
Google
comment.
It. Yeah, if you can smell ants, let us know what they smell like, because you can probably also smell salt. So, anyways, that was an issue that I had with the whole salt thing, because I was like, salt doesn't have a smell.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. Help us figure that out.
Let us know in the chat.
I'm gonna pivot us towards the name of our pod, the Shadow Daddies. Call her Shadow Daddy. Like, follow, retweet.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
But so who
is the Shadow Daddy?
Nick is the Shadow Daddy, do you think?
Right.
And does he fit our criteria?
I mean, we have two, I think, that you could consider for the Shadow Daddy. So we have Raven, her love interest, Raven with a Y, who she fake dates, but then they do end up boning, but there's no mention of penis, which we'll talk about later, which I found very disappointing. But anyways, so we have Raven, okay? Yes. And so, Mo, can you remind us of the criteria of a Shadow Daddy?
Gladly. So, for Shadow Daddy, we're looking for tall, dark, and handsome.
Okay.
A tortured and traumatic past. Tough guy exterior, but, you know, soft and sweet to our love interest. And then finally, the ability to wield some type of magic or power.
Okay.
And we don't always have to hit everything on that checklist, but a helpful guide.
Of course.
And so for Raven, I think he does hit a lot of those.
He's hot.
Check.
He always, like, they say he never smiles. That's, like, a big thing. They're like, and it's, like, the day after they fuck. And he comes downstairs and he's smiling and they're all like, what's going on?
The tortured and traumatic past. He's infected. Check.
Yep. Check.
Tough guy exterior.
Check.
He is the new head
of the Destroyers.
Of the Destroyers, which is the guard that tries to hunt down the infected. Right. So it's ironic. And then ability to wield some magic. Do you want to talk about his?
Yeah. So he is similar to Elsbeth in that you can't really tell that he has magic, but his magic power is that the cards can't be used against him, but also he can't use those same cards. So he says that like every year he loses access to another card. Yeah. So like now only it's like the Nightmare card, which is the one where you can go into somebody else's mind.
Yes.
And something else are the only ones that work on him. But like the Truth Serum one doesn't work on him.
Yeah.
But that also means, he can't use it on other people.
Yeah, but a pretty powerful magic because a lot of these cards can control people.
Oh, yeah.
So he can't really be controlled. So I think
he is. At first I wasn't convinced, but now that we're going through it, he probably is.
I think he doesn't necessarily come off as tortured or tough guy as some of our other shadow daddies, but I think that is what the author's going for. Totally. I think we just quickly see that he's into Elspeth and like willing to sacrifice for her and so trusting of her, even though she's like being a little cryptic with him.
Because the whole time when they first meet, she tries to say that it wasn't her because when the first time they met, him and his gang of highwaymen, that's what they call it. I was like, what year is this also? That was my other question. There's like no electricity. I don't know if it's medieval, but I don't know what's going on there. But they basically like, because somebody uses another card that gives you a vision and they see someone in like a cloak with a card that they wanted. And they thought it was Elsbeth who was walking back to her house, so they like attacked her, but she was able to push them off with the power of the nightmare. Yeah. So, but she tried to, and for the longest time, she doesn't tell anybody, especially Raven, that the nightmare is in her head.
She has the nightmare in her head. And speaking of the nightmare, do we think the nightmare is a shadow daddy?
I could see in some ways, yes, because he certainly has powers. He is scary. Yep. In her head, he's ugly as fuck, though, so it would not be that part. He's like, she basically describes him as, like, just horrifying. Like claws clicking, teeth gnashing, like, ew. But, spoiler alert,
which we do recommend reading the book if you're listening to this, and there are spoilers, but you don't have to read it, but especially for this one, it will probably make more sense if you have. But,
this one's a pretty, the lore is pretty
I think
crazy.
I know where you're going here, that the monster is the Shepherd King.
Right.
And the Shepherd King, so the Shepherd King was essentially the guy who first got these cards. Providence cards into creation so magic always comes at a cost. He, like, sold different parts of his soul or, like, the kingdom to get these cards from the mist. Yep. And so he's the OG, like, Shepherd King, wielder of cards, if you will. And I feel like he is the Shadow Daddy. Or, like, the combination of him being the Shepherd King and the monster makes those together. Because
I agree.
As a Shepherd King, he's, like, tall, dark, and handsome.
Right.
But then as a monster, he's tortured and complex. And
because Elsbeth then discovers that her other part is that she absorbs whatever the Shepherd King sacrificed to make the card, right? And so, like, with the nightmare, he sacrificed part of his soul. So it's like a Horcrux. Like,
it was definitely giving Horcrux.
I was like, okay, Horcrux. But
especially too with like, we need to find all 12 of them.
Yes.
To defeat
oh my gosh, you're so right.
Mist.
I didn't even think of that.
It's like finding all 3.
And like you said earlier, sorry, we did discuss a little bit before the pod.
Sorry.
Sorry. You were saying that it read very like YA, like young adult.
Yes. Yeah, I felt like, because I read through this pretty quick, and I'm like, this is giving YA. Also the thing that like flagged the YA to me was like, she doesn't realize at first that the nightmare is the Shepherd King. But, like, the author hints at that, and from the first hint, it's very obvious, but it takes her, like, 5 more hints to realize that, and I'm like, that's giving YA to me.
Yeah. Like, the fact that she really didn't get it, even after she has a dream, and he's like, the Shepherd King is there, but then it's the nightmare, like, and she's like, where are we? And I'm like, it's his house, dummy. Yeah, like, hello.
Yeah, so that... And that actually might, leading into our spicy scene and our Scoville scale, that might have been why the scene was toned down. We thought this wasn't as spicy. We'll get to our rankings here. But it's weird because I'm like, if it's true YA, they probably shouldn't have even had that. But I don't know, it's 2025, maybe.
The kids be knowing what's going on. They're on TikTok.
Yeah.
They're seeing the shit.
So maybe it's just like a toned down, right?
That's true. Yeah, because, okay, it's not classed as YA, but yeah, I feel like it it didn't know if it wanted to be, like, an adult romantic book or a YA. And so it, like, kind of toes the line in between both, but I feel like it would have been better if it would have leaned into one of those more.
Exactly. It either needed to commit it to the YA or commit to the romantasy. Because...
And give us some fucking penis, because there wasn't any, okay?
The romantasy girlies are a little disappointed.
I was like,
So that leads to our Scoville scale.
Yeah, Scoville scale.
Which is the hotness scale.
The spicy scale. And so, like, previous ones we had up in, like, the habanero zone.
Yeah.
This one is bottom of the barrel, green bell pepper. There is not... Maybe you have a little bit of a seed and you feel a little bit of something. Yeah. But the fact that we didn't get... We couldn't even... Normally, we like to do a dramatic reading of something that's, like, kind of absurd when they're having sex. And we couldn't even find something,
We couldn't
guys.
find anything,
It was
guys.
that barren of spice.
And we had to wait till... So I agree. I'm also going bell pepper. I guess I'll go, like, a yellow bell pepper, not a green.
Okay.
But,
Wait, is that sweeter?
So I didn't realize this,
it's
but...
the same pepper, right?
It's the same pepper. I thought green, red, yellow were different.
Pepper.
It's just, it's ripening over time.
So, but if it's more ripe, is it less spicy or more spicy?
That's a good question. I don't know. More spicy?
Okay, so you're giving it like, maybe it like is a bell pepper like drizzled with a little jalapeno juice.
Yeah.
Like just a little.
But I don't know. Maybe it is a green bell pepper. The more I think about it, like we waited till 75%.
Yes.
And then it was
Two
quick.
pages.
It was 2 pages. Half the time it was a metaphor for her falling off of a tower.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
And so it just didn't.
It didn't
hit for us.
Yeah.
And you know, it can't hit every time.
It can't. But like he hit it, but we didn't really get to hear much
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Okay. But
and so it's like you might as well just fade to black. At
right.
That point.
I know. It reminded me of like Twilight when
yes.
I waited so long for them to go on their honeymoon and then it fade to black. I was like, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I know that the second book just came out. Interested to see if
this
that
is a
will
duology, so
Yeah.
there's 2 of them. Let us know if you want us to do the second book. We're undecided.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like she might do more, but
yeah, I know. Because when I first started reading it, I texted Mo and I said, is she gonna fuck the nightmare in her head? Because that would go crazy.
That would be a bar Scoville scale.
That would be like, whoa.
And I feel like we were gearing up for like, is this gonna get weird?
Something's gonna get weird.
And it did not get weird.
It did not get weird as much as we wanted.
So we're gonna, we're not telling you yet. We will at the end of the pod, but our next book will be. We're thinking a little spicy.
We're thinking we're gonna go up on the scale. Okay? It's gonna be an earthquake. Okay. But yeah, but then I am really I think I'll probably read the sequel even if we don't cover it on the pod because I want to know what happens. Because spoiler alert.
Oh yes, let's talk about the ending.
Yes, it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
So one of the things, magic comes at a cost, right?
Yeah.
And so she's like, what do they call it? Like disintegrating, degenerating. Something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's basically like...
She's dying.
Yeah. And being overcome. So like basically the reason why they usually kill off these kids who get the fever and then have magic abilities is that they have too much magic and it's too powerful and it takes them over. And then they're like a harm to society.
Yes.
And so Elspeth starts basically every time she uses the monster's power to protect herself, she gives a little more of herself up to him, and now her like decline is that she's being overtaken by the monster.
So like at the end there's like this big fight scene with her and like the freaky doctor guy. Somehow she ends up in the dungeon, right? I don't remember. There's also like this evil king that's like
there's a lot that happens.
I know, now that we're talking about it, I'm like, damn, there's like 72 different plots going on, but like it made sense when I was reading it. But she's in the dungeon and they're talking to her, but it's the nightmare is responding. Like he's not present.
He's totally essentially overtaken her body, which is kind of crazy. And I'm kind of like, how do you come back from this?
I know. I'm like, is she dead?
Like,
well, and I was confused too because there was one point where she says like, because it's written in like first person, right? Yeah. And it's like, oh, I said goodbye to Raven, but I didn't realize that would be the last time I spoke to him. And I was like, huh? Yeah. And I was like, what, is he gonna die? Like, what's going on here? So I'm like, is she gonna come back? I bet she will somehow. Yeah. But I would like to know how. Yeah,
it'll be interesting because it seems like the nightmare, now that he's out, is gonna kind of like wreak havoc.
Yeah,
so...
he's kind of cray, by the way. Yeah. I kind of want to see what he gets up to. Okay,
yeah,
he's kind of a freak.
I guess it could get freaky if like Raven's like into the nightmare.
Raven has his own shadow daddy.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
That would go crazy.
That would be.
Yeah,
we'll definitely put it back on the second one on the pod if that happens.
Yeah, but if not, but if it's another like no penis mention, we probably won't talk about it.
Yeah. Unless you guys really want us to.
You let us know. We know we're a huge fan base.
We know you guys.
You're itching for the next episode. But anyways, Mo.
Okay. Oh, go. You go.
I gotta ask you, okay, about the title of the book.
Okay.
And
same page.
Yep, that's us.
Pun
we're like
intended.
This. Yep. Good one.
Got him.
What do you think about the title, One Dark Window? And then it's like, isn't it like Ballad of the Shepherd King or something?
Oh, yes, something of the Shepherd King. Okay, I didn't really get the title. Like, so I know they go to the old Shepherd King's castle in ruins, and there is a dark window there that he had been like looking out of, but I didn't really see how that was important to the plot, and so I thought it was just like didn't really fit the book. So weird title in my opinion. We do like to do a bit on the podcast where we come up with alternate titles. I'll do mine first because I think you have a better one.
I doubt it.
I was a little blocked on this one, but okay. One Hot Monster.
I like that.
Not bad. Like on the One Dark Window, and then Elspeth and her monster boy with an eye.
Okay, yeah, so I was on the same vein with like, I wanted to do something with a little weird spelling in honor of the weird spellings of their names. Yes. So I said The Nightmare, but spelled NYGHTMAYRE.
Wow, I like it. The Nightmare. Yeah. You're definitely gonna get like, no other books being named that.
That is true. Like, good. But I like the boy with the eye.
Yeah, maybe we combo them like
Nightmare
Elspeth and her Nightmare Boys with the Y and the I like that. I think that's better because I agree that the title just. Yes, I get that there's a window, but it didn't feel central to the plot. So I don't know. Maybe, tell us, chat. Are we missing something? Yeah, if we're missing something, we're willing to rethink it here. Yeah. But I think
Any other thoughts on the Shepherd King, the Dark Window, Elsbeth?
I think it was a fun read and a quick read, and I did appreciate we talked about the Providence cards, but like that was a very unique magic system. Them using those cards, and I appreciated something a little different.
I liked that. It wasn't just like, because there's so many like romanticy that's like I have to go to war and I'm the chosen one and I have to wield the sword like, and
fairy
exactly.
With this.
And this one was very like
creative.
I thought it was cool that anybody could use magic if they had the cards. It wasn't like you have to be special.
Exactly.
It's like you just have to have access to the cards. But and I did like, even though they said it all the time that magic comes at a cost, like there was like, you would see they'd be like, oh, I've been using this card for too long and now this person's like whatever disintegrating. I don't freaking know. Degenerating. They're degenerate now. I don't know. But like, and she has that friend, another weird name. Tell us how to say it. Ione. I don't know. But she has the like beauty card, but makes her turn like cold-hearted.
Yep.
Yeah. So there was a lot going on. So I'm interested to see what happens next.
Yeah. Let me know.
I'll read it.
Yeah, read it. Thank you for your service. But speaking of reading our
What's up next?
book,
What's up next,
little drum roll again. It's called Dear Reader by Tate James. And we've heard that this is kind of like a dark academia, like
perfect for fall
secret
and winter.
society.
Yes.
And is as the girlies call it, a reverse harem, also known as Why Choose.
Why choose? Why not have them all?
Why choose? So we're excited. This is for us to dive into this.
I think it's going to be a big adjustment from no penis.
I think we might have to have like multiple Scoville scale like for different scenes. We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, but it'll be a good one.
But we're excited, and we hope you join us for the next pod. Thanks for listening.
It's been real, Mo.
It's been real, Nick.
Bye.
Bye.